The Dungeon Master's Guide by Rhys Timson. Welcome, heroes, to the Stygian plains of Morkalanatha. I am, as always, your Dungeon Master and guide through these ashen wastes. And what a terrible place to be on Halloween of all nights. Evil is at its zenith on this day, and only the pure of heart will survive. What we call Halloween is known in this world as Gloomfeist in the common tongue. And it is said that on this night every year the souls of evildoers return to the scenes of their transgressions, and they are justly punished. No, Oliganth the Mage, you may not nip to the loo. There is no time for such fripperies. Adventure awaits. But seriously, Ollie, now isn't a great time for a toilet break. You'll find out why very soon. There's a good reason, trust me. I've always been trustworthy, haven't I? Scrupulously so. Pity none of you can say that for yourselves. There's no need to look offended. You four were always cheats and liars. You made that obvious from the start. But I tried to be a good friend to all of you. All the same, I was Frodo to your collective Gollum. What I'm saying is, you were always destined to bite my finger off. Don't pretend like you don't know what I'm talking about. Lately, I've been thinking about you all, mostly at night, clenching and unclenching my fist. Do you remember how it all began? Your first quest, in our first campaign, that Halloween, long ago, so long ago. Us five gathered round this same table, not out grubbing for sweets like all the other kids, venturing into the very dungeons of our souls. Some of us went deeper than others. You were searching for the hammer of anguish, the only weapon that could break the seal on the gates of Castle Wobertide, when Sylvester tried to claim his dwarven fighter, Silverstroth Goldhammer, had recovered all his hit points from one night of sleep. I've been clear from the beginning that we were using the AD&D 2nd edition rulebook and not the bastardized later editions. There was no point telling me that I should have been lenient, as it was our first go at AD&D. The rules are very clear on the point concerned, and we've been obeying them for the entire campaign. This meant that when the Olmba Hulk hit Silverstroth for 10 HP, it killed him, and that when Naresh's cleric revived him again, according to the 2nd edition rules, he lost a point of constitution, taking his total to 17, and meaning he no longer automatically passed rolls for system shock. That's how the game goes. The rules are there for a reason. What, you think you can suddenly switch which Dungeon Master's Guide you're using halfway through an encounter? I saw, too, how when we were fighting the land shark on the chalk flats in that same campaign, Naresh actually rolled a 17 on the D20 that landed under the table, and not 18 as he claimed. I let that one go, because it was hard to prove. We're all aware that Naresh's level 7 cleric had a THAC 0 of 16 and therefore needed to roll an 18 to hit the monster. 17 would not have done, and would likely have resulted in his death. Instead, the land shark died. I let it go. And, by the way, the creature's name is pronounced Bulette, not Boulet or Beulet. The campaign was set in the realm of Alamabethar, not France. That you all had no moral compass was apparent during our last campaign, in the icy wastes of Kalamanatha. A scenario I spent many weeks preparing, only for you all to bail halfway through. You cannot claim, Ollie, that your level 20 elf could be revived by a raise dead spell because he had a human grandfather on his mother's side and was therefore 1/4 human. You'd never mentioned it before, and besides, that section of the rules was not at all ambiguous. Elves cannot be brought back by a raise dead spell, only a true resurrection spell would have done. Similarly, it's not enough to say that you thought I knew that you slept with Irene just before I got together with her. Or that everyone was doing it with everyone that year. I certainly wasn't. And does it gall me to know that I was not, in fact, her first time to green dragons shoot poison gas? In any way, it's been years now since I found out, and I'm fine with it. I'm so glad that you all agreed to come back to the old brewer basement for an anniversary campaign. I'll make it short, don't worry. The wastes of Mor Kalnathak are unforgiving, bathed in endless night and riven by the conflict of perpetually warring factions, with all the treachery and lies of George R.R. Martin at his finest. You'll fit right in. Naresh, you may be interested to know that the people of Mor Kalnathak speak a different language known as Mor Kalnathak. There are very few common tongue speakers here, but I've no doubt that a knowledge of Mor Kalnathak will miraculously and magically appear on your character sheet the same way a fluency in German appeared on your CV and landed you that semi-executive position straight after graduation. The irony is, of course, that I speak Deutsch like a Bavarian beer hall regular, but of course they would never have given me that job because of my strange commitment to honesty. I had to settle for 4 years of data entry before landing my first big break as a copy editor. I hope you realise that your entire position is based on a lie, and that at any point in the last 14 years I could have called your employers up and told them so. I let it go. Just like I let that dice roll against the land shark go. I haven't reported you any more than I've held a grudge about Ollie fucking my wife. And, Sylvester, does it gall me to see you making so much money out of an idea you stole from me? Of course, but am I suing you? No. The truth is, we both know you took the idea for your Dragon Mistress mobile game from the short story I showed you about my character, Marinia, the Princess of Dragons. Sure, you changed her hair colour, her skin tone, and gave her pointy elf ears, but are you really telling me that you came up with that idea independently? Oh, please. It's not about the money. It's about the betrayal and violation of trust. It's no surprise, of course, considering how you read through my Dungeon Master notes for the forests of Silvabaleloshu. I figured it out pretty quickly, though, didn't I? You certainly weren't smart enough to pretend you didn't know that the Felinathia were, in fact, dark elves in white face paint. So we ditched a campaign I had spent 2 months working on. And I wasted an afternoon applying black, then white body paint to every square inch of skin. That's okay. I'm not bitter. I used the material from my novel. And Tom. I haven't mentioned you yet. Have I? Tom, the Paladin. That was the most unfucking imaginative name anyone has ever come up with in the history of D&D characters. You are in a fantasy world, Tom. You are playing a holy warrior with all kinds of cool powers who hails from a magical land, and you call him Tom. Jesus fucking Christ, you deserve what you're getting just for that alone. But in case you think I'm being unfair, I heard you on the baby monitor when you went upstairs to change your son's nappy last year. So I'm the dodgy uncle, am I? I'm not a Hargraven, Tom. I don't eat children. More, Kalamatha is a volcanic land. The plains are choked in sulphurous vapours. I decided to go for a little realism this time, something to enhance the atmosphere. Well, I can see that the fire in the bathroom's really working a treat. Don't you just feel that you're there? There's no point trying the basement door. I had it reinforced last week. Windows too are now triple-paned PVC and too small for you all to slip out anyway. We're not 12 anymore. We're adults. Adults with big bones and beer bellies and too many secrets and too much of a history. Yes, Ollie, I know you slept with Irene again last year. How could I not? She came home stinking of you, like she'd been in an encounter with a dire skunk and been sprayed by its anal scent gland. Anyway, sit. The game is still ongoing. You approach the citadel of Mograkatanazi, and the black gate swings open as you draw near, inviting you in. You know that the cup of truth is somewhere inside the ancient labyrinth. What do you do? There's no point shouting. You can turn back or go through the portal. Yes, yeah, there is a key to the basement door, but I swallowed it. Bet you're wishing you had your vorpal blades now, huh? I know, you'd slice me open for it, empty my guts out, string me up on the rafters and leave me for the vultures. You were always such good friends. Bet you wish you had a magnetic hand spell too, eh? What a pity such a spell doesn't exist in the AD&D 2nd edition. And you need to be a level 20 mage to craft your own spells. Besides, the key is brass. The spell wouldn't work on non-ferrous metals. By all means, lie on the floor and breathe. Well, at least you learned something at school. Of course, you can try and make a call, but you know the reception in my parents' basement is legendarily awful. Besides, help won't arrive in time. That's the beauty of this location. We're miles out of town. But anyway, the gate is open. Do you step through? The campaign's short, I promise. Somebody, Oliganthe the mage, Silverstroth the fighter, Narobinar the cleric, Tom the fucking paladin. Great and legendary heroes, tell me what you want to do, and maybe you can escape the choking atmosphere of these deadly plains. The world is yours, adventurers. Bestow upon me your command, I beseech thee. What's that, Tom? You step through the gate? All of you? At the same time? Well, okay. You step into the dark, and the floor opens beneath you, sending you plummeting towards a bit of seething lava. Desperately, you spin around and flail your arms against the wall, scrabbling for a handhold. You must each roll 2d20s. Should you roll a 20 on both dice, you have somehow managed to find purchase on the sheer obsidian walls of the pit. What are you waiting for? Roll! No? Okay, then I'll roll for you. Here we go. Silverstroth. An 8 and a 14. No good. You keep on falling, praying another of your party finds a hold and reaches an arm to you in time. Oliganthe. You roll a 20 and a 2. Good, but not enough. Your fingers graze a small cleft, and not for the first time. Tom the fucking paladin. A 1 and a 6. You knock your head on the side of the pit, losing consciousness. Narubinar, the party's last hope. A 20 and a 19. So close. Yes, it did look like a 20, but it kept rolling and settled on a 19. No. I didn't nudge it. What are you accusing me of? Cheating? Where would I have learned such terrible behaviour? So, you are Gollum, and I am Frodo. And here we are in the infernal fires of Mount Doom, and I am bravely sacrificing myself to save the world from evil. You're evil. And before you ask, down here in the brewer basement, there are no fucking eagles! Yes, it's beginning to go black. That is as I intended. No, I won't take pity on you. I am the dungeon master, and I always play by the rules.